Today we're counting down from worst to best 6 all-you-can-eat sushi spots recommended by our viewers. Welcome to Let's Eat Vegas, your guide to the good, the bad, and the delicious. Okay, let's get started. Starting off our countdown and coming in at 6th place is AYCE Sushi on Spring Mountain. This is a sushi spot we heard many good things about. It also commands an impressive 4.5 Yelp rating with over 3,000 reviews. Now, while I do enjoy browsing Yelp, I don't take it too seriously, and this place proves why. As far as my experience today, I feel the Yelpers got it way wrong. We always aim to be honest, and while we hate delivering an entirely negative review, sometimes it's necessary. We know how hard running a restaurant is, and we don't take bad reviews lightly. But we owe it to you to share what we experienced. We chose the all-day option, even though it didn't include some of the better items I like, such as uni or soft-shell crab. The only perk I could find, if you want to call it that, is it includes 1 oyster. I think the best thing to do is stick to our mantra, the good, the bad, the delicious. So let's run through those. The shrimp tempura was okay. Wasn't the best I ever had, but solid. The onion rings were pretty good, but we don't go to a sushi place for onion rings. The best sushi roll we had was the spicy tuna roll. Again, not the best I've ever had, but decent. And then there was the ice cream. It was good, but also not why I was here. As for the bad, well, unfortunately, this is the longest list. I hate to go on and on about one bad thing after another, so here are the brief lowlights. The shrimp skewer was our first bite, and I thought it was awful. Tiny shrimp, rubbery texture, and a taste that made me think someone marinated them in a table cleaning bucket. I was actually glad they were small. I had to spit them out, and sadly, that wasn't the last time I'd be doing that during this review. These nachos, also pretty bad. I like the idea of Asian nachos, but to me, it seemed that after they trimmed the fish, they accidentally threw out the fish and kept the trimmings. I almost half expected to see a hook, bait, or fin in the plate. Of course, those items may have been an improvement. The salmon lover's roll had a strange taste. The salmon didn't seem at all fresh to me. I found it so fishy I had to spit it out once again. Usually I describe the spices in a dish, but the foul taste of the salmon overpowered any spices this roll may have contained. The carpaccio, well, again, I think it's terrible. Each one tasted strange to me. You may not be able to see it, but they were sliced thinner than mosquito wings. Of course, that turned out to be a good thing, as this meant there was less of it to eat. Finally, I didn't find the lone oyster fresh tasting, and the sauce didn't help them go down any easier. These were some of the worst oysters I've ever eaten. And finally, the delicious. I'm sorry to say, there was nothing I had at AYCE Sushi which I felt was delicious. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but our experience at AYCE Sushi was incredibly disappointing. We were excited to try this place after hearing such good things, and I walked in with a very positive attitude, but left not wanting sushi again anytime soon. Usually, we give a place a second shot, but there is no chance I'd ever return. As we walked to the car, I looked up at the AYCE Sushi sign and thought, good thing they told me, it sure didn't taste like it. Coming in at number 5 on our list is Smile Shota. This place has been popping up more and more in requests from our listeners, so I finally had to check it out for myself. Smile Shota has been open since 2024 and quietly built up an impressive fan base. It's named after the chef owner's nickname, Shota, whose mission is simple: make every guest smile one bite at a time. With a high Yelp rating and plenty of glowing reviews, it clearly has its devotees. But as you know, I don't let Yelp do my thinking for me. So let's dig in. I always like to start with a soft-shell crab, my personal sushi litmus test. If they mess that up, usually sets the tone for the rest of the meal. Fortunately, this one was solid. The batter was crisp and airy, the crab tasted clean, and it wasn't greasy or rubbery. A promising start. This roll came with shrimp tempura and spicy tuna inside, salmon and masago on top, finished with a creamy yuzu sauce. There was some good texture here, and I appreciated the visual flair, but Orange Blossom is more about the presentation than the flavor. There's no citrus in the taste. The sauce gives it a tart finish, but it seemed more like a ponzu than a yuzu. It wasn't bad, just forgettable. I know better than to expect real lobster in a popcorn lobster roll, but even by fake lobster standards, I felt this missed the mark. It tasted to me more like imitation crab fried into a tight little croquette. The texture was off, the flavor was fishy in a bad way, and the bright green garnish raised more questions than it answered. The spicy tuna inside the roll, however, was the part that I enjoyed. This one had potential. Spicy tuna and shrimp tempura inside, with fried onions on top. I'm usually a sucker for crispy onions, but these were chewy and reminded me of the texture of onion skin. I felt the spicy mayo barely registered, leaving the roll tasting a bit flat. Again, the spicy tuna saved the day. This version swaps imitation crab for spicy tuna, then tops it with shrimp, avocado, hot sauce, and yum-yum sauce. It had a nice flavor balance and a little kick from what I assume was a sriracha-based sauce. I really liked this one. It was bold without being too heavy, though I wish it had packed more heat, especially for something labeled Mexican. Spicy tuna and cucumber on the inside, topped with tuna, avocado, and spicy garlic ponzu. Visually, it was nice, but like several rolls here, it didn't hit me with any pop. I felt the sauces lacked depth and were kind of timid. Not bad, but definitely on the safer, middle-of-the-road side of sushi. The fish itself wasn't the freshest I've ever had either. Smile Shota has heart and good intentions, but overall, it left me wanting more. The soft shell crab passed the test, and a couple rolls stood out. But to me, many tasted too similar, with sauces that didn't bring enough to the table. With some tweaks to the flavors and fresher fish, this place could shine. As it stands now, it's a decent option if you're nearby, but not something for which I'd make the extra effort. Now call me biased, but something that is worth the extra effort is hitting the subscribe button. Especially since, according to YouTube, 80% of you watching right now are not subscribed. What? Subscribing is free, helps us grow, and to bring you more reviews. And if you find value in our reviews, consider making a small donation using the link to buy me a coffee in the description area below. We'd greatly appreciate it. Filling out the fourth spot, Sushi Nico, one of Chinatown's top-rated Yelp sushi spots. It's often neck and neck with Sakana Sushi for the #1 Yelp position. Both are owned by the same restaurant group. Sushi Nico holds a 4.4 star rating, and it's widely acclaimed by locals. But is it really that good? Well, let's start with a few standouts. The #1 Chef Makes a Roll was my clear favorite today. Soft shell crab inside, spicy tuna, salmon, and jalapeno on top, finished with spicy garlic ponzu. Balanced and flavorful, this one definitely lived up to the hype. The Jackpot Roll, with its colorful confetti-colored crushed tempura flakes, is flashy, and that's where I felt it begins and ends. The Something Went Wrong looked great, but I felt the flavors ran together. Tasty, sure, but not very distinct from each other and not enough to wow me. The Don't Cry Amigo Roll starts off with a promise of spiciness, but it's just that. A promise, yes, but in my opinion, kind of bland and boring. The Bam Bam Roll with seared salmon and white tuna stood out for its fresh, clean flavors. I liked it. Thankfully, there were no pebbles on it. The Orange Blossom was citrusy, refreshing, and one of the more unique options. I love the roe on top, and the fresh salmon pairs well with the acid from the orange. And the seared lemon nigiri was our favorite nigiri. Simple but powerful, with fresh salmon and tart lemon slices. And the smoked paprika salmon nigiri, also excellent. Smoky, vinegary, and rich in umami. So, is Nico worth the hype? Overall, yes. Sushi Nico delivers high-quality fish, generous portions, friendly service, and a great vibe. But with a few caveats. The food comes out slowly, so order up front and be ready to order your next round when the current one arrives. Fortunately, they weren't overly strict about the 90-minute limit. Also, while many of the rolls are beautiful, I found they tasted too similar. A lot of flash, but not much contrast. The nigiri, however, stood out with bolder, more distinct flavors. And finally, small issue, no pun intended, but the size of each individual sushi piece was large and I found it difficult to fit fully in my mouth. All in all, I like Nico, but it's not one of my go-to spots for sushi. Coming in third place is Ono Sushi. It isn't just your average sushi, it's more like edible art that feeds your soul. Today we're pulling back the curtain on one of Vegas's best-kept secrets. We started with the Aloha roll, a simple but elegant combo of spicy tuna inside and seared tuna and salmon on top with ponzu sauce, clean and light. Then came a house favorite, the Super Rainbow Roll. Shrimp tempura, cucumber, and a burst of color from assorted fish, avocado, and different tobiko. It's beautiful, balanced, and just plain delicious. And then we tried some nigiri. Now, the nigiri at Ono, well, some of the freshest we've had. The Cajun tuna and Cajun albacore, both topped with house spices and fried onions. It's like steak tartare meets sushi. The garlic tuna is a sleeper hit. Plain looking, but packed with roasted garlic and scallions. Absolutely addictive. The seared lemon salmon nigiri tasted like sushi crossed with Italian cuisine. Zesty, briny, and light. Loved it. The yuzu yellowtail is bold and flavorful, with scallions giving it a refreshing punch. The miso seared salmon was a showstopper. Miso paste brings a serious umami kick, and the salmon is melt in your mouth fresh. The orange blossom roll, wrapped in soy paper, was stuffed with shrimp tempura, mango, cream cheese, and avocado, then topped with ponzu and a fresh squeeze of orange. Bright, sweet, tangy, just wow. The spider roll, done Let's Eat Vegas style with spicy tuna instead of imitation crab, was a winner. Soft-shell crab, cucumber, and burdock root, one of our all-time favorites. The creamy shrimp appetizer is pure comfort food. Lightly fried shrimp in a sweet, spicy sauce, similar to honey walnut shrimp, but even better. Get multiple orders, you'll thank us. Sun-kissed roll, think smoked salmon meets sushi lox. We swapped the imitation crab for spicy tuna, add tempura crunch and cucumber, and you've got something that's light, smoky, and super satisfying. Something Wrong roll is as playful as its name. Soft-shell crab inside, tuna and salmon on top, with shredded daikon, yuzu, and green onion. It's fresh, textured, and a little chaotic in the best way. The Rolls Royce, normally topped with salmon poke, felt more like chunks of marinated salmon today. Not our favorite, but salmon lovers might feel differently. The Ono box was adorable. Sushi's answer to a dainty tea sandwich. Compact, fun, and filled with salmon and green onion, though the filling was lighter than listed. We finished with 2 fun desserts. Tempura ice cream, which is golden fried vanilla ice cream topped with whipped cream and chocolate, and the mini honey toast, a toasted King's Hawaiian bread sundae that outperformed expectations. In conclusion, Ono Sushi is a hidden gem with top-tier sushi and thoughtful, fun flavor combinations. We'll be back, and if you go, tell them Let's Eat Vegas sent you. Coming in at number 2 on our list is AYCE Sushi, and specifically their Spring Mountain Road location. For the sake of getting the most bang for our buck, we ordered the all-day option. Yes, they have multiple locations across Las Vegas, but this one on Spring Mountain just hits differently. The vibe is energetic without being chaotic, and the sushi is wildly creative. What sets AYCE apart isn't just the freshness, though that's top tier. It's their unique approach to sauces. These aren't your tired, overused drizzles. These are well thought out and constructed sauces, and the contrast between them is inspiring and intoxicating. They're bold, flavorful, and often unexpected. And when AYCE says spicy, they mean it. By the way, how spicy do you like sushi? I'd love to hear in the comments. We began with Trust Me Baby, and after one bite, you'll know why. It's a masterpiece of contrast. 2 sauces side by side, one a sweet, garlicky sriracha-style red, the other a creamy, mayo-based white sauce that's reminiscent of what you'd find on a perfect honey walnut shrimp. On the inside, it's packed with shrimp tempura, soft-shell crab tempura, and assorted fish. The sauces are layered with purpose, not just dumped on top. Add a sprinkle of green onion for sharpness, and you've got one of the most exciting, flavor-packed rolls in town. No exaggeration, this might be my favorite roll anywhere. Now this is how you do a spider roll. And of course, we ordered it Let's Eat Vegas style, meaning no imitation crab and definitely no eel sauce. Instead, spicy tuna takes the crab's place, and that swap pays off in spades. The soft-shell crab is always hot, fresh, and perfectly fried in a delicate tempura batter. It's never greasy. Avocado adds creaminess, while burdock root brings the earthy umami crunch that ties it all together. A touch of soy sauce and wasabi is all you need. It's simple, clean, and deeply satisfying. Wrapped in a delicate soy paper, the Yellen roll is another AYCE creation that hits the sweet spot. The interior blends soft-shell crab, shrimp tempura, and your choice of spicy tuna or imitation crab. Naturally, we went with the spicy tuna. The soy paper gives it a lighter bite than traditional seaweed, making the flavors inside stand out even more. It's a great option for those who want a little texture, a little spice, and a lot of flavor in a roll that won't leave them feeling heavy. This one's made for shrimp fanatics. What stood out right away was the sauce. AYCE doesn't cut corners by reusing the same flavor base on everything. Each sauce has its own personality, and this one was slightly sweet, loaded with umami, and paired beautifully with the roll. Inside, the tempura shrimp delivers that perfect crunch. On top, the cooked shrimp and avocado add a rich, buttery creaminess. Shrimp on the inside, shrimp on the outside. It's a double dose of delicious. The name might make you raise an eyebrow, but if you're into heat, don't let the title put you off, as this one absolutely delivers. Inside is crispy shrimp tempura, while the outside is packed with ground tuna and a bold hot pepper sauce. And when AYCE says hot, they're not kidding. This isn't some wimpy drizzle, it's the real deal. A full-on flavor punch that spice lovers will appreciate. As someone with a chili addiction, I was all in. We always ask for an assortment of these sexy style nigiri. You can choose any fish you like. We love them all this way. Today we ordered tuna, salmon, and yellowtail. The presentation really lets the clean, fresh flavor of this fish shine through. Each piece is topped with garlic ponzu, a fresh slice of jalapeno, lime, and a sliver of avocado. The combination is light, bold, and addictive. Yama consistently uses high-quality fish. As any sushi lover knows, if the fish smell is strong, it's not fresh. Here, it's pristine, always. Yama was one of the first sushi spots I discovered after moving to Vegas, and years later, it's still a favorite. Keep coming back, and I'll always recommend it to friends. It's dependable, delicious, and as I said, it's all about the sauce and unique flavor combinations. Trust me, baby, you're gonna love Yama, and you can thank me later. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. Today's finalist. So it's our great honor to present the Titan of Tamaki, the Kahuna of tuna, serving uni that'll make you swoony. Today's winner, Island Sushi and Grill. If Hawaii and Japan had a delicious love child, it would be Island Sushi and Grill. A few miles off the beaten path to our south in Henderson, this laid-back eatery combines the flavors of traditional Japanese sushi with bold, comforting Hawaiian dishes. Locals love it for the poke bowls and plate lunches, but today, we're diving into their all-day, all-you-could-eat menu. Let's start with some shrimp tempura, a light, crispy homage to its Portuguese-Japanese roots. Perfectly fried and delicate, it's a great opener. The calamari is shockingly good, crispy, moist, and seasoned like a pro. The avocado fries stole the show early. Creamy inside, tempura-like outside, and paired with a garlic aioli that took me back to my own restaurant days. If you see a guy hoarding them in the corner, that's gonna be me. Next, the Mauna Loa roll. A warm scallop and mushroom topping over a spicy tuna California roll base. The rich sauce sets it apart from the usual mayo-heavy mess found elsewhere. Then we sampled some excellent nigiri. Buttery albacore, fresh hamachi, and the standout, the garlic tuna, kissed with ponzu and green onion, delectable. The island-style ribs were a nostalgia trip back to the tiki joints like Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic's of the 70s. Grilled and glazed with a sweet, tangy sauce, they were tender and satisfying with just enough chew. Guava wings? Bright, bold, crispy, and rooted in Puerto Rican tradition. Easily among the best wings I've ever had. The Ninth Island roll, a deep-fried spicy tuna roll topped with fresh tuna poke, stole the spotlight. It's crispy outside, raw and creamy inside, and draped in a spicy, creamy poke sauce. If Island Sushi has a signature item, this is it. Then the spicy Mexican roll punches back with jalapenos, spicy hamachi, and tempura shrimp, all wrapped into a spicy little dynamo. And finally, the Pawana roll, a monster packed with shrimp tempura, cucumbers, spicy soft-shell crab, ahi, hamachi, and avocado, all drizzled in garlic ponzu. It's flavor chaos in the best way. And for dessert, the guava donut with vanilla ice cream ends things on a sweet note. The donuts are fresh and fluffy. The guava sauce is tart and tropical, and though it's limited to one per person, it's a winner. Island Sushi and Grill is more than just another sushi joint. It's a tropical escape on a plate. With friendly service, excellent execution, and most importantly, standout flavors. This may just be our new favorite AYCE spot in the valley. When you go, don't miss the avocado fries, ribs, guava wings, or that magnificent Ninth Island roll. That's the taste of paradise right here in the desert. Las Vegas might be known for its glitzy celebrity chefs and bougie fare, but its down-to-earth sushi game easily holds its own. From the tropical flair of island sushi to the sauce-driven creativity at Yama, we've taken you on a full-circle tour of the city's sushi scene, one bite at a time. We've had rolls topped with mango, ponzu, and jalapeno. We've crunched into shrimp heads, been surprised by guava wings, and fallen hard for sexy-style nigiri. We've tasted the highs like Ono's garlic tuna, Nico's uni, Yama's Trust Me Baby, and Island Sushi's Ninth Island Roll. And sadly, we've reached some dizzying lows as well. Well, enough said. But that's the beauty of Vegas. No matter what kind of sushi experience you're after, be it saucy, spicy, tropical, or traditional, there's a place for you. Just maybe double check Yelp with a grain of wasabi. If you're new to the AYCE game, this list could be your cheat sheet. If you're a seasoned sushi lover, consider this your Vegas roll call. This would be a good time to hit the notifications bell so you get a reminder when the next review becomes available. And of course, it's always a good time to like, subscribe, comment, or share. It's free to do so, and it helps us to grow and to bring you more reviews. Until we eat again, bon appetit!